Hello everyone. In today's class, we will discuss about what are the objectives of NEP, why they reformed new economic policy, as well as what kind of benefit we will achieve by implementing the NEP in our country. So, the major objective of informing or reforming the NEP in India is just to liberalize, privatize as well as globalize your country. What does that all mean? We need to understand about what is the liberalization, privatization as well as globalization. Clear? So let's begin with very first topic, liberalization. It means freeing up of Indian industry from all the necessary government controls and restrictions with the help of. Before going further, let's understand what do you mean by liberalizing. Liberalization means to provide or to give access to all the industries to grow, as well as to provide opportunities to all the companies, to give opportunities to all different sectors that can came into India, as well as that can came, so that our job opportunities will grow, our business production will grow, our private sector also grow. So with the help of major factors, we are using the liberalization concept, like abolishing licensing requirements, as in government abolished various kind of licensing requirements, or it reduces the number of license you have to be taken, it restricted the number of license you are required. Now you don't require to get the maximum license or to license each and every time only. So government reduces this kind of stuff, so that you came free to up to the government and serve to your best in your country, so that our country will grow in a positive manner as well as sooner and sooner. Next is freedom in deciding the scale of business, that is no restriction on expansion or contraction of business activities. Okay, what does that tell? That you can extend your business, you can expand your business, as in you can increase a branch office, head office, you can increase multiple department office, or you can divest your investment in different sectors, as in if you are dealing with the food products only, now simultaneously you are opening a job or opening a business with the cloth department also. So they all deal with extraction and contraction of a business. Government allowed that you can do each and every kind of businesses, each and every kind of measures, each and every kind of the companies you want, the number of units you want, all these come under the liberalization. What does that mean, contraction? Contraction is simply means, expansion is simply means to increase numbers, and contraction means to reduce your business or your departments or your branches with an existing ones. Okay, next is removals of restrictions on movement of goods and services. Removals of restrictions. Before 1991, there are some restrictions that you can't send your goods to the foreign, as well as you can't buy any goods or services from foreign. But at the time of 1991, when this policy came, NEP came, they removed all the restrictions that are provided on the movement of goods and services. They give access that you can freely manage or freely buy or sell your goods or services wherever and whenever you want. It's not the restricted now onwards. So it generally deals with, for example, imports and exports, imports and export opportunities. Next is reduction in tax rates. Government allowed that businessmen can grow, business organizations can grow, so they reduces the tax rates to the organization. They started to charge very basic amount or a very minimum amount to the companies, so that they can do better and better for our nation. Then freedom in fixing prices of goods and services. As before 1991, all the prices are to be set by government only. they need to take permission whether I can sell or buy this particular product at this price or not. Now, at the time of 1991, government provides or government reduces or removes the restriction to ask the buying and selling price. Now, it is the time when you can only decide what you are doing, and as well as what you cost to the product, what you cost to your service, what is the cost of your manufacturing and profit contains. So, they are giving freedom to us that you are free to decide what is the price of your goods or services. Simplifying procedures for import and exports, as it is already cleared that if you remove restrictions on movement, it also provides simplification in imports and exports too. And the next is making it easier to attract foreign investments and technology in India. While reforming the 1991 policy, new economic policy, they are allowed foreign investors to come into India, as well as they can be safe, as we already discussed that foreign investors promotion board has been set up so that their amount is kept to be safe. All the investors should be required that they are came to India, provide job opportunities to India, provide employment opportunities in India. It will help to grow our India. So that these kind of stuff came in NEP in case of liberalization only. Now, let's talk about privatization. Privatization simply deals with that public sector enterprises shifted their role to the private countries, or I can say they shifted their work environment, they shifted their industries in the public hands to the private hands. They allowed private organizations to do business or to compete with government organizations, as well as it also allows that now private organizations have access that they can enter into the market, they can face the competition, as well as they can move outside the Indian origin also. They can deal with import export also. These all kind of stuff deal with privatization. Here, giving greater role to private sector in the nation building process and reduced role of public sector. Disinvestment in many public sector undertaking. Here disinvestment means transfer work of public sector enterprises into private sector enterprises, as in those works are done by public sector enterprises are to be shifted to or transferred to private sector enterprises. Clear? Next, setting up of BIFR, you need to remember the name, Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. They set up a BIFR. Why? To revive Sikh industries, as well as to give promotion to Sikh industries, to gain the opportunities, to allow Sikh industries to merge with any big organization or to grow in a country. Sikh units in public sector enterprises suffering losses, as well as government also asks Sikh industries to merge with the public sector enterprises so that they can cover their all kind of losses, they can reduce all their losses, and they can provide benefits just like they provide benefits to small scale industries. Next, it aimed at improving efficiency and performance of government undertakings, reducing budgetary deficit, and better utilization of a national resource. Obviously, it is very well clear that whenever we are providing opportunities to an organization or a private organization, they'll help our economy to reduce our deficit which is going to in the world economic environment. Clear? Last but not least, objective of our NEP is globalization. What do you mean by globalization? Liberalization is simply means to free up your mind or to free up your organization, that you can enter into any product, you can set any price. That's called the liberalization. Privatization is simply that you are allowing public sector to private sector, you are allowing private sector to come and compete with the public sector. Globalization means that you are allowing your each and every kind of organization or each and every kind of goods or services to be produced. It won't be restricted to India only. Now you can produce, or now you can expand your business at your globally level also. As in, one branch or one head office you are containing in India and the other branch you are containing in the Dubai, or I must say you have to deal with the clothing department in India and you have to deal with the shoes department in Singapore. So these kind of all kind of expansion or contraction in your businesses in the physical geographical location, they deal with the globalization, that there is no restriction, you can do your business at anywhere you want. See how it helps. Integration of various economies of the world leading to the emergence of cohesive global economy. The measures taken by the government include what kind of measures they are required in globalization. Trade liberalization, which includes licensing of imports, as we already discussed about that, licensing of imports given to as simplified to imports so that they can deal with the imported and exported goods. Feel free to deal with foreign countries also. Export promotion through rationalization of tariff structure. Exports should be promoted by the government so that by using the export they can get the money from the foreign, they can get money in the dollar, they can get the big amount as compared to Indian currencies amount. Always each and every country wants that their production will grow in a manner of exportation only, that they want maximum products exported by our country and minimum products are imported into the country, because whatever we are exporting we are getting a foreign currency which is come to the India in our country, as well as it also gives some amount to our nation also. But if we are doing the importation, then our amount will go to the other country, we are helping to the other country, we are not helping to our country. That's why they allowed that some export promotional benefits given to you, or as well as there are some kind of rebates provided, some kind of duty drawbacks provided, that whenever you are doing the production of goods which are exported to the next country, then we are, for example, we don't take tax for such particular profit, we don't ask you about what is the source, we can't ask you about the what is the major expenses you have built. There are several factors which are given to promote your export schemes. Next is foreign exchange liberalization. You allowed all the companies, all the organizations to deal with any kind of currencies. Whatever you want, you can deal with any kind of currency, as in whether you are need to deal with the rupee or dollar or yen or whatever the reason or whatever the currency you want, you can deal with. It involves increased level of interaction and interdependence among the various nations of global economy. While using the globalization, you may interact with different companies, different countries also. So while interacting the different governments, now you are need to decide that which company and which country you have to be maintained, where at the which government is helpful to you, which is your friend country, as well as which is your enemy country. You have to decide whether where I can grow as well as my nation also grow with my positive benefits as well as my objectives and targets too. Global economy implies boundaryless world where there is free flow of goods and services across nations. They can't deal with the only single nation, they may be more than one nations. Free flow of capital across nation, amount, funding, as in foreign investors came into India or our investors came to the foreign, something like that. Free flow of information and technology, technological agreements came to the liberalization agreement also, so that now you can deal with the foreign investors, foreign technology specialists. Free movement of people across borders. You are allowed to job or to do a business across the globe. You can go outside the India and bring the business to India, something like that. A common acceptable mechanism for the settlement of disputes. They obtained, just remember FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board, for an example. They maintain a separate authorities for separate department to deal with the particular kind of disputes. Like they maintain the ROC, Registrar of Companies. They have established FIPB. They have established BIFR. So these all kind of authorities are deal with that you have to allow particular areas only. Last but not least, a global governance perspective. It provides global governance perspective regarding all kind of stuff, or as well as you can deal with different nations, government, you can deal with different regulations of each and every country. So it's all ask about governance. Governance is simply means that what are the rules and regulations given to you, what are the rules and regulations provided by the government, which are have to be followed by you, which has to be maintained by you, is comes under the word of governance. Clear? Thank you.